And absolutely, the course was the turning point. It's more than some. It's more than some kind of hack or whatever. These are. It's really a philosophy that is not only applicable. Obviously, Facebook is kind of, we're looking at everything through the lens of Facebook, but there's just so much that is just general business philosophy that's helpful way beyond Facebook. Um, I had clients that signed me up, to help them with Facebook, and I'm helping them with their I'm their general marketing guy, helping them way beyond Facebook, make big decisions, head in different directions and stuff like that. And I really attribute all of that as a turning point to everything I learned. Hopefully, I'm a good
Oh,
student.
thank you so much, man. I mean, I'm so happy for you. I think this is so great. I mean, I think, if I remember our notes from our calls, just like, I feel like, I think I even have them here. I can search here for a second, but just the ability for you to really kind of get this stuff that you were really looking for, I think is just so amazing. Okay, yeah, I have it here. You were like, you found me through Andy. You tried a bunch of gurus and courses. You were running through a lot of discounts and bundles, and things weren't really working. You were stuck, I think, at 40K a month-ish on stuff. And, what you were really looking for was, that you wanted to really help the businesses around you, your community, and really understand how to take this and be able to commit to a business plan and strategy with a scalable effort. And
Exactly.
what it sounds like to me is, I don't think you're running discounts much anymore. You're probably doing a lot better than 40K with this brand if they have to open up another factory. And the net ad for everybody else around you. I mean, this is just great, man. I'm so glad to hear that.
Yeah. I remember the day where I said, "There's no more discounts." We have a little sign up.
No more.
Yeah, that's right. We have a little sign up bonus, whatever it is, but
Sure.
first purchase. But that's about it. I used to run sometimes 30-40% off emails just to get things moving, and I thought that was building the business. And we were shocked when we stopped running those discounts. We were so surprised that how our bottom line started growing and people were still coming back. They were still purchasing. We were getting better customers that have a higher LTV, higher AOV. I mean, that was a big turning point also. And there's so many people that try that discounting thing, and that was surprising to me. I would never have known that.
Yeah, I think running a discount is really sexy, easy money. I always like to think of it, maybe because I'm recovered or whatever, but like, it feels like a drug. The problem is, like, yeah, do it once and you feel great. But when like you need it physically to stay like in business, you're dead. And the easiest way to stay off of it is to literally just stop doing it, right? And I think one of the biggest problems is so many businesses get used to running discounts as a standard operating procedure because they've been told by marketers that that's how you get a good ROAS. Like, look, you want a good ROAS, you want a good email campaign, you want a good Facebook, run a huge discount and you're going to get great results. But what that does to your cash flow, your LTV, the quality of your customer, like your PSM, it crushes everything. And I think the ability to move beyond that and see why is so massive. And I love hearing that from you. And really with our conversations about, I think, PSM, the profitable scaling margin, and that, it feels like that's been really helpful for you to kind of understand these numbers and be able to back it up when somebody says, when you tell them we're not going to run discounts anymore, and they say, that's crazy. Why wouldn't we do that? Like, now you've got ammo and numbers.
Yeah,
like
right. And I honestly feel like, with this particular company, we haven't even scratched the surface. There's so much, even in the course itself, there's so many videos. I just keep on saying, because you've got them all archived, all the weekly classes. There's so many. When I go through that list with all the titles and the subjects, there's so many of them. Like every day I say, okay, I'm going to start catching up, and I can't even get to a lot of the stuff. There's just so much there. This is a course that if anyone is on the fence, I'm telling you from my personal experience, push yourself. It's absolutely worth taking this course. It's a few months of learning a lot of information, but afterwards you're going to be in such a better place. Your time management, the amount of time you have, you're going to have way more time. You'll be much more focused on important things. You'll be able to make decisions. Charlie will teach you how to focus just on, like I started, his like simplicity doctrine, I call it, looking at that one decision that you have to make at that exact time and not becoming overwhelmed, not looking at all the shiny objects. When you watch when I go back now and I watch the YouTube videos and I see all these so-called gurus and stuff like that, like I don't feel intimidated anymore. I used to kind of feel like, oh, everyone's got the secret and you got to watch every single video out there, because if you God forbid miss a video, like that's it, you're going to be left behind in the dust or something like that. And then when I watch them, it's like, does anyone have anything, hopefully they have something that's valuable, but I'm trying to find, something maybe that we missed in the course. But for the most part, it's like you have a center of gravity where you know how to look at everything and understand if what they're saying is helpful or not, and not be overwhelmed and not feel like you're missing something that you have to watch every single video out there. This has just been a real game changer for me, and it really was one of the best decisions I've ever made. So I'm just so grateful. That's why maybe I sound like I'm praising Charlie a little too much, but it really, I told you my case study, and that's really been my experience.
I think that's fantastic, man. And thank you so much for saying that stuff. Like I said, this is why I do this thing, because I get to have these conversations with people around the world every day. It makes me feel great, and like, hey, I'm selfish. I want to feel good.
You deserve it. You deserve
well, and I get to help people be successful.
I don't think there's too many people of your caliber that make themselves so available. And just thinking of an example of that, like when and I hope you don't mind me advertising this, but when we have the one-on-ones, like, you're never looking at your watch. You're never like, oh, the guy's going overtime. Charlie was so generous with his time. If you send him a question, he'll always answer you. There's none of these. It's not like checking, oh, where's the guy like up to in the course? How much money did he pay me? All that type of stuff. I mean, you really, like, of course it costs money and whatever it is, but like, it's so not about the money. And you'll be able to sense that right away when you meet with Charlie. He's always there for you. Yeah, I don't know what else to say.
Well, I appreciate it. I think the one thing that I would love to be able to finish this with is, how do people get in touch with you? Because there's going to be people here that maybe they don't want to make the investment, but they love what you are doing. And they're like, man, he did that for that other company. I want him to do it for me. How do we get people to be able to talk to you? Because, hey, look, I love the fact you're trying to tell people to talk to me. Believe me, I love it. But part of the success is putting people in touch with those that can make it happen. And you're somebody that they hire you day one, things are going to get better. And I would love to, be able to end this with just like, how can somebody get in touch with you?
I'll share my personal email address. Anyone that wants to reach out to me, and if you want to ask me anything about this interview, there's anyone that wants to talk to me about joining the program that's on the fence, I'm happy to spend a few minutes and if they have any specific questions for me, I'm happy to answer those. My personal email address is Yossi, Yossi, F like Frank, K like Katz, @gmail.com. You're more than welcome to reach out to me, and yeah.
I'm going to just put this up here real quick, so we've got it on the screen and so people can see it. And yeah, man, there we go. Boom.
There you go.
There we go. Well, man, I just want to say thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I'm super excited for the direction you're going into. That's phenomenal. And I can't wait for more one-on-ones and more opportunities, because that's one thing too, is like, after the end of the program, like, they're always still available. Like, it's not like I disappear. There's not a timeline. This is a lifetime thing, right? Like, this is a community. Like, we are in this thing together. This is a fellowship. And what I love is folks like you and Andy and a lot of the other folks that have come on here, Leslie and Jordan and Kelvin and Jared, and all of these folks, just like really being able to share what's happening and helping each other out. And I think one of the biggest things that I love is that all of you are good at different stuff. And what's amazing is when everybody can come to the table with a slightly different expertise and no ego, not trying to sell people stuff. I can't tell you how many people say, yeah, we've got a community, no ego. And it's literally just a whole bunch of people trying to sell each other on other stuff while they're lying to each other. And every time they meet up with each other, just sales pitches. Like this legitimately, like, I'll be fair. I've got a bit of an ego, of course. But like, I'm not bringing something where like I'm holding something back. You know what I mean? And I think everybody has been so giving and so just open because there's literally nothing to gain with not being helpful.
Yeah.
And the more that you and other people share everything all the time, just the more value it brings. And that's one of the biggest pieces, I think, more than anything about the Facebook Ads MBA program and about Disrupt Your School is that the group of people we have are basically the folks that are they're done with all of the other just big name, empty win, kind of waste of time stuff. We're all here for a reason. And I love that for whatever reason it is. Maybe it's because of who I am. But everybody's been like you, just happy, giving, gracious, and not shy. And willing to be helpful to others and ask for nothing for it. And as a result, we all get so much more than like what you wanted for success when we talked was to make that 40K stuff kind of work out well and have a plan.
Yeah.
And within a year, you're like a partner in a big business trying to help out everybody else. Like what you achieved is so far above and beyond what your goal was. Like that to me is the most beautiful thing ever. And I just want to say that because I really appreciate it. And I want other people to know that that's what you've done for yourself and what you can do for other people. So while we're saying all this stuff, there it is right there. If you want to get in touch with them, go for it. Because you're a guy that can do that for other people now. And it's sort of like you've got the secret power, as it were. It's not even that it's a secret or it's that hard. You made the investment in yourself, and now anybody that invests in you is going to see the return. And that's the most beautiful thing ever, man. So I want to say thank you very much. And if there's anything else you want to say, I'll let it be. Other than that, we can say goodbye, man. And
no,
next time I go out how close are you to New York City?
About an hour.
Okay. Well, next time I get out to New York City, which will probably be a couple times this year, I might get a place out there. I definitely want to, make something happen.
I'd love to.
I'm going to do some in-person stuff, and I would love to get to shake your hand.
Awesome. I'd love to shake your hand.
There we go. All right, man. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and I'll talk to you later. And everybody else is watching, like, there you go. There's the email address. There it is. I love it. I'll talk to you later, man.
Thanks so much.
See ya.
Okay.